Welcome to Heidi Relationships. Today, we'll read some more stories from Reddit. But before we start, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to the channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, and maybe leave a comment down below. That would help the channel a lot. Thank you very much in advance.
The first one is titled, My 20F, GF, 22F. Expects me to play video games with the person she cheated on me with, like nothing happened. My 20F girlfriend, 22F. And I just lived one of the worst moments in my life. A month ago, she cheated on me with a friend she met over the internet. I'll refer to him as GIH in this post. She immediately told me, apologized, and wanted to stay with me, and we were on for new adventures. Since then, we're slowly rebuilding our trust bond. I asked her not to contact him, talk to him, nothing, as it made me uncomfortable, except of course when she's playing on her RP Discord server, with all her friends. This morning, me, my GF and a friend wanted to play some Smash Brothers. We played 1 or 2 games, when they told me they invited people from the server. I said okay, and, when GIH apparently complained that he couldn't join the lobby, I blocked him on my Switch. I didn't know that he was trying to play with us until they deleted the lobby, and my GF told me. They started a new lobby, and I just told her that it was mean to try to make me play with him as if nothing had happened, and not take my feelings into consideration. She answered, I just wanted to play with everyone and have fun. I told her that I needed some time alone. Later, I called her on the phone. She told me that I made a mess for nothing, and thought I was better than this, and that she overestimated me. I was dumbfounded. I got angry and told her that she had to think about how I feel about this guy. My mental issues, depression, became worse because of him. That she could play with her friends from the server, but just, without me. Don't try to make me play with them. She hung up, telling me that I was in butthole for not talking to her and leaving her alone earlier. Edit. Some of you haven't noticed, but my GF and I are both women. She's bi, I'm a lesbian. Update. We talked. Told her how I felt disrespected, and how she did nothing to make her trustworthy. Told her I disliked ultimatums, but it was either me, or she has to completely stop interacting with him. She apologized and agreed. She told me she wanted to feel loved, safe and for me to trust her, that she'd do the effort. Sorry to disappoint everyone, I love her, and my mental health is really catastrophic. I don't want to lose her. I feel like I'd die if we were to break up. Edit 2. Hey everyone, thanks for all the comments. I'll be thinking about leaving, okay? Also, I'm already seeing a therapist, but since my country is in quarantine, I won't see that therapist for a long time. I was supposed to go and have a prescription for antidepressants, but the quarantine happened. A user in the comments said, your girlfriend sucks and you should run as far away from her as possible. She obviously only cares about herself and thinks extremely poorly of you. Another user said, you feel like you'd die if you broke up? This is absolutely not a healthy relationship dynamic. You're essentially saying she could do anything, and you'd justify it just to have her in your life. You're setting yourself up for disaster with this mind frame. The next one is titled, Update. My 20F, GF, 22F. Expects me to play video games with the person she cheated on me with, like nothing happened. Hey everyone, thanks for all the comments. After the post, I talked to her. Telling her that something felt shady about the whole cheating accident. I asked her for details, that I needed her to be honest. Just a reminder, before this, she told me it was not a big deal, just some sexual texts. Turns out, it was that, plus nudes, plus bonding, plus other sexual stuff. It was at the point she thought about leaving me for him. I was dumbfounded. She admitted that despite telling me she stopped talking to him, she didn't. That, in her point of view, he saved her life, as he was the only person in the world. She felt comfortable enough talking in detail about her suicidal thoughts, and that sex was just to thank him, he deserved it. She refused to stop talking to him. I told her that, in this case, we'd break up. She told me to grow up, We broke up. She went crazy and sent me images of her hurting herself, saying she's killed herself and asking her friends to tell me she'll kill herself. After some time, she calmed down and apologized. I told her that at first, I wanted to break up to heal, trust her again and maybe build a new romantic relationship, but that it was impossible after the crap she did. I'll focus on myself right now, but I'm still feeling dependent, and I still love her. We agreed on a friend with benefits kind of relationship if everything was cool between us at the end of the quarantine, which could end at the end of the month, or in a month, depending on the situation. I know you told me it was a bad idea, but hey, I need time to change everything. I'll handle it. My therapist also told me not to make rash decisions like cutting her off completely, but to focus on myself. I'll do that. Thanks again. Edit. So, guys. You realize I said that we would consider a FWB relationship if everything seemed fine after the quarantine. That nothing is set in stone. I thank you for your support. I'm thinking a lot right now. Also, my therapist didn't tell me, don't cut her off. She told me, don't make rash decisions, as you have the tendency to live through other people. Make your own choices, because I've told her about asking for advice on Reddit. Thanks again for all the comments. I'm reading them all. Oh, and please remember, we're 2 women. The next one is titled, Husband, 30M, cheated on me, 27F, with my own sister, 21F. Upset, confused, angry. Forgive me if it's confusing in places, I'm still shaking and confused by the whole situation. So, me and my partner have been together for 6 years, live together and have a 5-week-old daughter. Me and my sister had a very close relationship since my parents haven't always been the best or supportive figures in our lives, so we clung together and would even consider myself the mother and father figure in her life. Mine and my partner's relationship has been fairly strained since my daughter has been born. He would stay late at work, be dismissive when I would want to communicate our feelings and huff and puff when I would tend to our daughter. I had a fairly rough pregnancy and quite a traumatic birth, so my libido and overall body confidence is scarce. I don't feel like being intimate most days and my partner would give me the silent treatment, but I never worried about him being unfaithful. I was feeding my daughter on the sofa tonight with my husband sitting next to me. We were both watching TV and his phone kept vibrating, but I had a feeling something wasn't right with the number of notifications and how quickly he would answer. He got up to go to the bathroom and he didn't take his phone with him this time. I grabbed it, put the passcode in and had a look who the messages were coming from. It was my sister. Before I looked at the messages my heart dropped, and my heart was in my mouth when I started looking at the messages. There were nudes, sexting and conversation on how I'm not putting out, like I used to, which was a knife in my chest. They had met about 4 times, in which I realized was the times where I was taking myself to the doctor for scans and checkups and getting shopping for my grandparents. I am beyond distraught. I have no idea what to do, where to go and how to go about confronting them. I feel like my whole world has come crashing down. I have lost my husband and my sister. A user in the comments said, send yourself copies of those messages and any replies that he may have sent. And get yourself a lawyer or woman's aid advocate before you let him know what you found out. Things you said about him before you wrote about the texts that you saw led me to believe that he was a jerk. You don't need to put up with a jerk like that in your life. You deserve better. Another user said, I'm so sorry you are going through this. Welcome to the craptiest club to ever be a member of. As I have said often, and you kind of led to it when you called your marriage strained. So often we take life's changes in stride and over time let them become the new normal, like the frog on the pot whose temperature rises slowly. RWS find their outlet in starting new relationships elsewhere. Generally, this starts with removing all communication from you and outletting it somewhere else. Work friends, old friends, new friends, etc. Eventually this turn into a relationship and their life is on the uptick. They have the new relationship feels and they have moved on from you. Then in some way the truth comes out and this all crashes down. On one hand, I am jealous that you found out ahead of time. I got that your wife has been ducking my husband text to find out about day one. On the other hand, the fact that you are dealing with both your husband and your sister betraying you is a new low that I didn't have to experience. Here's what I can tell you to not do. 1. Do not okay the pick-me dance and try to fight for your husband back from your sister. It only leaves you worse, and when you lower yourself to that level you will only feel worse in retrospect. You are a great wife, a great mother, and your husband is just a douchebag. That's the real story, not that you did something to deserve this. 2. Do not try to take the leading role in anything you do if reconciliation is what you chose. He ducked up, not you. You will find that if you take the lead, he will regret getting caught, but never feel remorseful for what he did to you. 3. Prioritize your time with your daughter. Get on the record his aloofness and then use that in court when you fight for full custody. The next one is titled, Update to the Husband Cheated on Me with My Own Sister Story. A lot has happened since I last posted. A lot came out, a lot has been said, and now it's all out on the table. I called an aunt of mine after I posted and saw some comments saying I should have a friend or family member by. I packed my baby a bag, bottles and stuff for a short stay with my auntie who's been close by for the pregnancy and knows how to look after my baby because I don't want my child in the house whilst I talk about this. My husband was confused and was asking why I was packing stuff for her and not me also. I told him he will see. I texted my sister, come over right now. And she pushed Y and called me, but I just messaged her to get over here. Took her about 15 minutes to come, and my aunt came and took my daughter in that time, and my husband was getting increasingly worried. When my sister pulled up, my husband's ass fell out. The sudden look of realization hit him, and he started crying. My sister came in and I told her to sit down, and I did as you all asked. Took pictures of the chat, her number and all the contents that was on the chat, pulled it up on the smart TV and told them both to tell me WTF had been going on. Admittedly, I did look quite insane, but I didn't care. She started crying, he started saying he was sorry over and over, and I explained they had broken me how I raised my sister and gave my husband a daughter, and this is how they repay me. They confessed it had been happening for at least 7 months. He ducked her in our bed a couple of times, and they said it wasn't like they were in love with each other. Getting a lawyer in the morning, he's confessed to kissing a coworker also. I'll be picking my daughter up in an hour and he's currently packing his crap whilst my sister is crying and begging me to not disown her. I'm ignoring it whilst I'm writing this. Really, see, I can only depend on myself in this time, and divorce is an only option for me because I don't want my daughter thinking men can do this to her. He's begging me and they are both begging me, but I'm not cracking. They made them bed, they can lie in it. Thank you everyone for your support and kindness. The next one is titled, Update 2 to the Husband Cheated on Me with My Own Sister Story. Hi guys, I first want to say how thankful I am that people were so supportive and even went out of their way to message me. I really appreciate you all for that, and it has given me a lot of strength. Folded hands, light skin tone. This is an update following on from my last post and what's happened in the week that followed. That night I was in shock and went into get away from me mode. I just wanted them out my house and not in my vision. There were lots of trying to persuade me, apologizing, crying, and it was chaos. My partner left with things in a bag and presumably went to his mother's, and he's yet to make a return. My sister was quite distraught, and I felt she was truly sorry, but it doesn't make what happened go away. She left not long after and I collected my daughter. It was a Christmas that didn't feel much like Christmas and spent it with my daughter alone. I cried a lot, ate a lot, and decided to send my sister contact details for a therapist my therapist had recommended. I want to give her the space we both need right now, and following on from the suspected grooming going on from when she was younger with my partner, just assumptions at this point, it's her chance to open up about it if that was the case. As for my partner, he's not messaged me, asked about our daughter or anything that I would have expected, like, I'm really sorry this has happened. Or, can I come collect XYZ? His mother has removed me from all social media, and I haven't tried the number to see if she has blocked me. I honestly think he has up and ran and used his mother as a bunker. All the legal divorce stuff is underway and I'm currently focusing on myself and my daughter. It's deeply upsetting and it all caught up to me a few days after, but I'm doing better now. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the relationship stories. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video and write a comment. I really appreciate your support and it helps my channel so much. Thank you.